All right, welcome to the Max Effort Kitchen podcast. Cornell, how you doing today?
Good. I almost just did an embarrassing thing, and I'm posting that we are live, but
Nice.
I caught my autocorrect where it says live with Max Effort Kitchen instead of love with Max Effort Kitchen.
Hey,
Different podcasts.
different podcast.
That's through the paywall.
Yeah. I heard someone say that the other day through the paywall. Yeah, it was the Dylan Cooper thing. I think that's funny. I don't know what people would ever pay for a podcast if there's so many free podcasts out there. I don't know. I mean, whatever. You kind of did the one with Seb, right? You paid like the Morning Brew. Didn't you pay like $1 or something a month or whatever?
Yeah, that was cheap. That was like $4 a month. At the time you got a program, it was just more stuff that they gave you. It was like it was a real basic program. I mean, it was one step away, complete opposite step away, but it was one step away from just maxing out every day.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it was like, you're not going to do this, so just go and snatch 3 triples at 45 to 70%.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Well, just everybody out there, if you hear me sniffling or coughing, just excuse that, please. We were going to do a podcast yesterday, was feeling a little under the weather, but we're doing one today. It's been really cold here. It's been really sunny. I don't know. Did Josh actually get this winter storm? I heard it never actually showed up.
My thoughts are, along with a lot of the posts that I've seen, stop watching the news. Stop watching the Weather Channel. Stop watching all these things. They make their money on doom and gloom, and you're all going to die, and then you feel better because you didn't.
Yeah. And guess who prospers from that? All those grocery stores that get sold out of everything.
Oh, yeah.
It's a conspiracy. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
No, I'm sick of, we talked about on, I think, the Polo, the stupid trigger words like atmospheric river and ice shield or whatever. Like, they act like it's all weather.
Yeah.
20 years ago, it's like, yeah, it's raining. Now they're like, there's an atmospheric river directly over you. You could drown.
You could drown. Yeah, no, it's all what did I say? I called it something. Fear mongering. Yep. It's just like we don't need to hear. I think they do this where you're at too, but like here, it's like a week out. They're like, get ready, and they were kind of doing that for this too. But man, I'm so sick of hearing Winter Storm 2026. Like I'm not going to hear that anymore. I'm sure we'll get one or two snow days. What's that?
It's called winter. It's called winter.
Yeah, it just snows.
Guess what? It's going to be colder. In theory, it should be colder. Why don't they talk about how it's been 85 degrees here in San Diego? Yeah. And it's not a good thing. I mean, it's January. I'm not supposed to be having allergies kicking in right now.
No.
And they've definitely kicked in. That's more of like a October thing, not a end of January thing. So
yeah. I'm usually like, my things kick in around September, October-ish. Exactly. I don't know. Whatever. It's mid-January. Let's just plan on it being wetter and move on. So let's see. As far as like cooking goes, dude, hey, have you ever been to, I know you've been to Starbucks, but have you ever gotten their little egg cups?
I have not gotten them. I've seen them, but I have not bought them. I'm a cheap bastard. And
no, I understand that. Well, first of all, let's just talk about this. I don't usually, I'm not a go out and buy a coffee type of guy usually, but every now and then, when maybe we're out of milk or when maybe something's up at the house or I need to get out of the house soon, I'll get Starbucks. I got one the other day. It was $9. $9. Come on. That's not what I want to talk about. But anyways, they have these little egg souffle cups things. And you get like two for $7. And somebody the other day was like, man, these are so good. And I was like, yeah, they are. They're pretty easy to recreate. And like, you could make them at home. And so this morning I was like, you know what? I'm going to make them. So I did a sheet pan of eggs and potatoes and, peppers and garlic and bacon and all that stuff. And I just punched out a bunch of like little ones and just packaged them up. Every day this morning every day this week, I'm going to have breakfast. It's going to be awesome.
Nice. No, I've seen it done where they put them in like muffin tins, and then they've got the little packaging around them, and then they can just pack all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I think I was seeing like they put a sausage at the bottom, and then they put some cheese, and then they put an egg, and then they put some pepper, and then maybe sprinkled some bacon on top, and then cook the whole thing. And I was like, I'd rather do that than go spend $3.50 a piece.
Yeah, 100%. And because really what they're doing is they're putting a cheese, a meat, and a bunch of cream and eggs. I'm like, to me, I'm like, I can do that at home, and I can make like quadruple this amount for what you're doing.
Yeah.
So, food prepping for me has been fun lately. I think I talked about it a little bit last week. I made dinners and lunches for the entire week. It worked out really well. I didn't get sick of anything. The only thing I would say is I probably made too much of the baked ziti casserole that I made, but whatever. I think I threw away one portion, so not a big deal. Yeah. Anyways, dude, tell us, give us a quick little update on your weightlifting. What's going on with your lifting, or how you're progressing? Are you doing anything good?
I think, did we talk about that I have officially started an official program?
We haven't talked about that on here. You and I have chatted about that. Yes.
All right. It's official. I've started a program.
How about that?
It is, I don't know if I want to put too much out there, but it's readily available.
Yeah.
I haven't actually talked to the guy who I bought it from, so I don't want to like push too much on that because I don't know how it's going to go yet. But I can explain it a little bit. It is a program intended for someone with a massive clean and jerk and who needs to have their snatch catch up. So it is a 2-day-a-week, 9-week snatch only program. And there's nothing more than snatch and snatch accessories and very minor strength building. Like there's a little bit of squats in there.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. So let me ask you about that, because I would say on the average, I have about 30 kilos, if not more, in between my snatch and clean and jerk. So if someone like myself, or maybe someone has a bigger gap there, wants to do this, you just do snatch. You don't do clean and jerk throughout this whole thing, do you? Or is it just snatch?
Kind of what I picked up on I didn't read the whole thing, but
yeah.
It's for people who you can still do your original program on top of this. This is going to be like an additional program on top of your program. Not necessarily if you're doing like a 5-day-a-week something, but if let's say you have a 3-day-a-week something, you just cut out most likely if it's a 3-day-a-week, you've got a snatch day, a clean and jerk day, and a total day, like a both lifts day. So you'd cut out your just snatch day, and then you would do these 2 days, and then you'd still do your clean and jerk day, and you'd still do your total day. And then you've got a 4-day program out of what you were doing. So it's only one additional day if you had a 3-day already. But I'm liking it. I've explained it to a couple of people where I'm like, I'm not trying to say that I'm some highly advanced weightlifter, but it's not a program for people who don't know what they're doing and can't take charge of what they're doing. There's a whole lot of like, hey, it's 6 to 10 sets today of triples at a minimum percentage and a maximum percentage. And then there's other days where it's like snatch variation. And I'm like, when I read into it a little bit, it's like, you choose one. I don't care. You can do what you like, or you can do what you need, or you can do what you hate. And most likely what you hate is what you need. So that's what I did day one.
I like it. You sent it to me and I was looking at it, and I think we talked about this a little bit, but I think that's exactly what I really, really liked about it, is it gives you the control and the autonomy to manipulate it based off of what you're feeling that day. Yeah. And as we've experienced, I think we've probably both experienced this at some point of our weightlifting time, which is that you start doing that and then you talk about it and then your coach gets all butthurt about it. And so we stop doing it. So,
no,
yep. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that what I like about it is because it gives you this like open-ended or like gives you this opportunity to kind of do what you want to do.
Yeah.
When I said I was going to do the lowest low blocks, like, do you know what those plastic blocks are?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
2 up on those. I'm like, it's terrible. It's like probably 4 inches high, and it's awful because it's kind of like you're starting from the ground, except for you're not. So you're just a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
And I missed one of the weights, hit the block. I dove out of the way. It shot the weights around. It spun the barbell. It took out 2 benches behind me, and all my stuff went everywhere. I'm like, it's funny because I wasn't like, oh, that was close. But in my brain, I'm like, I'm safe. That's going to be a great video. And I walk over to my camera and it had shut off like 8 minutes before.
Solid. Someone needs to come. I'm sorry. Side note, someone needs to come up with a better way of videoing your stuff. I don't know. I don't do it half the time because I don't want to deal with it. But yes, go ahead. Sorry.
I just push record and walk away. And then I happen to get a phone call and it stopped my recording.
Stops recording. Yeah.
But at least it didn't like let me know I had a phone call because I didn't want to deal with the phone call.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I remember hearing a podcast years and years ago with Matt Frazier where he looked at what he was the worst at and then he made that become what he was the best at.
I like that.
I was like, I hate these low blocks. Let me not run away from them. Like, I'm going to make them my best position, but I did do that with the high blocks because I was really bad at the really low and the really high. And then a couple years ago, I think we may have discussed this. It was right after Nationals. I was at helping out coaching at in Vegas, and I had smashed my pelvis to the point where I could not lift anymore.
Yep.
I said, I think I snatched like 90. I made 95+% like 12 times in that 3-day weekend.
Yes, I remember this. Yes. Okay.
So I went from the highest blocks where like you just bend down into the power position. That's where you go from. Yeah. And I said, I'm not allowed to go any heavier until I've hit 10 at my 1 rep.
Nice.
Which wasn't very high. It was like 100 kilos, but I'm like, I have to make 10.
Hey.
And then I made all 10, and then I made 105, and I made 110, and I don't remember if I tried 115 or not, but I made everything that I went for. But I was like, I made 10 at 100%.
Nice. So, well, and that's a victory no matter what the weight is, right? I mean, I was trying to think about like December and November and December because and this is really where I probably should, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter, but like if I should journal things or not, because I'm like, what did I do back then in those 2 months to net what I have now? And we've talked about this. There could be multiple different things or angles we could look at it from, but like, it was just a lot of repetition and a lot of repetition and a lot of repetition and so like when you talk about doing, making yourself successfully hit 10 before you can move on, that's repetition, and that's all that is. You're stacking the reps right there, and that's going to make you better regardless.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I'm looking at this program that I'm on, where Friday I had a range, and my range was 102 kilos to 122.
Nice.
So I had to hit 7 triples in that range. I wasn't feeling great, so I just did 102 for all 7 sets. Nice. And they were all good. I mean, they didn't get better as I went on, and they didn't get worse. They were all the same. So I'm like, that's really where I was supposed to be. And I felt great all weekend. So
and that's the thing. It's okay. So it's a confidence builder, yes, but like also, you're hitting these successful lifts. They may be in the realm of the weight that you lift and what your goal is, I mean, that's a pretty low weight. But what you're doing is obviously creating confidence, but you're making lifts. And when we make lifts, good things happen. Yeah.
No, probably a couple months prior to Worlds, I was doing like 20-minute EMOMs with 100 kilos.
Yeah.
And I essentially did the same thing, but in way less time because it was just 7 triples. And the first four triples I got done in about 6 minutes. And then the other 3, that was a whole other story. External circumstances of people ignoring headphones in your ears and feeling it's their job to come and talk to you in between each set and help make you help them stretch and push down on their body and hear their stories.
Yeah, fun. See, and those moments right there, and listen, I'm going to say this, but I know it's not. That's why I like lifting in my garage sometimes. Yeah, I think overall it's probably better to lift with people. I was having a text conversation with a younger guy, a younger lifter around the area here. And him and I have been talking about getting together and lifting and whatever. We just haven't done it. But he was telling me how he hurt his back. And I was like, okay, so what are you doing to recover? Like on your normal days? Like what's recovery look like for you? And he goes, I was like Planet Fitness. And, I eat and I sleep. Like, all right. So I tried not to go into like old man mode where I'm like telling him what to do. But I gave him some tips. And one of the things that I give everybody, and I always get funny looks, and I got this, this actually is something that you recommended to me, and it works really freaking well. And I have a stock of it in my house, no matter what day of the time of the year it is. And it's the Blue Goop. The Blue Goop is fantastic. It helps. It works for knots, and we are not sponsored by Blue Goop or what. That's not even what it's called. It's like Icy Hot for racehorses, but but it's like, dude, that stuff works so well. And anyways, the only reason I'm saying this is because like, lifting with people is great. But I know with me, there are times when I get really excited to like be around people and stuff, and I start talking and I get out of my zone, and that really, that tends to suck, because then I'm like, you know what, chalking this up as a social fun lift time. And then I got to be better about this next time. And it's not like the company that I have, or it's not like where I win. It's my own damn fault because I'm not paying attention. And I'm just like, ooh, I get to talk to people and lift at the same time.
Yeah. Have you tried this one? The hot rub?
No, I just had somebody tell me about that though. Is it good?
That I got for the first time in Kentucky, and I put it on, and I'm used to like Icy Hot where you put it on, you smell it.
Yeah.
You tell it's working. Just has smell in it. This one, you put it on, I was like, this didn't work at all. It's like 35 degrees outside. We're in the gym. It's probably like 50 inside there.
Mm-hmm.
Second, you start sweating and your pores open up. There's something chemically that happens that's probably real healthy.
Nice.
I was stripping down to like shorts, no shirt, weightlifting shoes, and that was it inside this 50-degree gym, and I am dripping sweat.
Really? So, hot rub.
That one I really like. Advice?
Yes.
Put it on. Go wash your hands.
Listen.
Don't go pee first. You wash your hands first after when you're done, no matter what you do.
I always, if I'm putting that stuff on, like even with the Blue Goop, I'll do it with this, but like I wear gloves.
Oh, the blue one. The blue one is like that one. I'm totally fine with. Like, I can tell. I've gotten that in the eyes. That's like that one's. It's good, but it's not like this one's like. And I'm saying, I peed once before I washed my hands.
Oh no!
And then you start sweating, and pores open up, and you don't want to have burning there when you.
Yeah.
Nobody wants burning down
there. Excuse me. No, nobody wants to burn down there. Is it the main ingredient capsaicin?
No, not this one.
Okay. I've heard of people using that too, but I've never done that.
I have that too. I'm not even going to talk about that with people because that's kind of like, have you talked to people who've used like performance enhancement drugs? Yes. And they're like, oh yeah, Tess does this and GH does that. And oh, you want to get skinny? You go on this for the summer. And then you're like, what about Tren? They're like, we don't talk about Tren.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
That's capsaicin. Okay. That's the one that like I wouldn't even offer it to people.
Yeah.
I know how to use it.
Right.
And it is not what people think how much you're supposed to use. Like if you think you know how much you're supposed to use, you're going to be in a world of hurt. So it's almost you just like say capsaicin and your body's like, it's cool. I'll calm down.
Yeah.
I'll relax right now.
You know what? I'll just take the day off. How about that?
Yep.
Oh man. So we were talking a little bit before the show. We have a guy, which I'm sorry, I'm blanking. His name's Murph. He's followed this podcast from day one. So I would say top 3 people. I mean, we have some other people like Kilopino, Brett, Konar. Those are all kind of like old school, like have been here since day one. But so is this guy Murph, and he wrote me something that was like, hey, you wake up tomorrow and you're the president of Masters Weightlifting, and you're tasked with the opportunity to change it. What would you do? And I posed that to you a little bit, and I was like, we got onto a side note of that. Because at the very end of his message, he says, this time should be the boom of Masters weightlifting right now. And I said to Cornell, I said, when I came into maybe I didn't say it exactly like this, but when I came into this world of weightlifting, I was bombarded with the idea of like this group of weightlifters, maybe from Cal Strength or Muscle Driver or that era of weightlifters. Okay. And they were the goats, and like everybody knew their names, and he kind of like talked about the stories and whatever. They're all turning masters this year, next year, a couple years. And so my question to you, Cornell, because I want to hear your opinion on this, is why aren't those guys getting out here and just slaying the Masters division? Because they would.
So, do you want me to just talk about that, or should we talk about the other part first?
We can
start with this.
Yeah, dude, do you?
So I know a handful of the people from Cal Strength.
Okay.
And like, I mean, heck, we were coached by one for a couple of years. So
yep.
We know kind of a lot of what people's bodies went through back then. So a handful of them, they can't even really lift anymore. And that's probably why they're not lifting now, and they're not blowing up the Masters area.
Yeah. That's kind of what I
told me a long time ago. You can either lift a lot when you're young or lift a decent amount when you're old.
Yeah.
Or they said lift a lot when you're old, but it's going to be relative to being old. You can't have both. And I think that that's what a lot of them did, is they pushed so hard that they can't even really function. There are a couple of them that I do know that they're still beat up, but they're super smart. I don't mind saying this one, like Rob Blackwell.
Yeah.
I was talking with him a couple years ago at Pleasanton AO series, the series one.
Yeah.
He goes out there. He's been in the sport for 15 years, like competing nationally. He goes out there, he snatches what he must, or he snatches what he can. And then he did he clean and jerked what he had to.
Yeah.
And it meant he didn't need a third attempt. So he scratched it when he could have like totally went out and set definite Masters records. I don't remember how old he was at the time, but there's only a few people who were really smart. Like Travis Cooper's one of them. who is still out there, still lifting, still setting. Like, lifting can compete with the seniors, but is also destroying it in Masters division.
Yeah.
But if you look at so many of those other people, they were reckless. They were wild. They didn't think they were ever going to die. And like it catches up. So
yeah. I get that. When I guess there's really one person that I think of that, like, I guess he kind of recently retired. I don't know. There was a little bit of thing about that he posted online about it, but that's but he looks like he would wreck this division, which is Phil Sabatini. Like, that guy. I mean, he was still competing in seniors, and I think he could compete at Masters at this point, but
him and I are the exact same age. I mean, year wise, both 1982.
Okay.
And I think one of the guys that I know from the gym, he is friends with him and used to be one of his athletes for like a decade.
Wow.
And I think it just got to the point where he didn't want to keep pushing for that top tier echelon of excellence. And he wants to kind of lower his, not that he's lowering his standards, but he got to the point where he was only competing twice a year.
Yeah.
And it was at nationals and then I think AO finals. And those were his only two competitions a year. And then he would go up in body weight. He was a 94 for a long time. And I met him when the 94 class was a thing and I was a 105, but I weighed like 101. And he said he was walking around like 102. I'm like, but he would then drop all that weight and then compete and then recover and get back up in body weight. And he was super smart with it, where it was, I only go heavy twice a year. I only push twice a year. I have 3 months of recovery, 3 months of buildup, and then 3 months of recovery, 3 months of buildup.
See, I like that. I think that's really smart. And Alana and I were talking this morning at breakfast, and I don't even know how we got onto the subject of like, I forget how it was, but anyways, I was like, there will come a time. Oh, I know. We were talking about the rower that's in my garage, and I'm like, I freaking hate that thing right now. Like, it's not my friend right now. I don't hate it, but it's not my friend. And I go, there will be a time, I'm sure, when I'm like kind of done competing ish. And I'll probably use that and do some like CrossFit-y stuff and still, do the lifts and all that. And, so I can look, have a hot, sexy dad bod in my 60s or whatever. And
I think that's what drugs are for.
Yeah, I know. That's true. This is very true. So she's like, what do you mean you're going to stop lifting? And I'm like, well, there's going to be a day, Alana, come on. Like, it's going to happen. And I don't know when it is. I don't know when it's going to be, but it's not going to be now. I know that last year I competed a bunch, and this year I don't know if I want to compete as much. If I do, it'll be locally, but I can appreciate the being smart and like not pushing it to a point in which your body fails at a certain age. And I don't think it was because the people at Cal Strength weren't doing it right. I think they were doing exactly what they knew to do at that time. And I think that in this sport, maybe it is more acceptable to push at a younger age and push it as hard as you can actually push it at that age, where in the Masters division, we're all about like kind of longevity and still pushing it, but not as like, I'm not going to be out there 6 days a week. It just ain't going to happen, Double days, probably not ever going to happen again.
No, I've wanted to pipe in with so many little things, but
yes, please do. Please do.
One of the things that we have definitely talked about is the goal is to walk away from the sport. The goal is not to have the sport be taken away from you from being dumb. Like, the goal is you want to choose when you're done with the sport rather than that you are dumb and an idiot and you get hurt and the sport, you can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
So that's definitely the goal. One of the things that I do think, though, not to invalidate or validate any type of training, how it was going, but I think that Glenn was a big time like data person, and he was an experimental person, and he wanted to run experiments and see how it went. If Glenn was still alive, his programming towards the end was not what it was that we all saw from the boom days from Cal Strength videos. And
there it is.
It like we have a old teammate who was coached by him until he died.
Yeah.
And he's told me like, the programming wasn't as experimental as it was like back then from what I remember conversations with him.
Yeah.
And then it was more like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And we're going to do this because in 3 weeks, this is what we want to hit. And in 4 weeks, this is what we want to hit. And I think that a lot of the stuff with Cal Strength that everyone's watching, like he didn't know that was not necessarily right back then when he was doing it. And we've learned so much from that. So,
yeah, that's a good take on that because, and that's kind of what I was saying, which was like, it's no fault to anybody's. It's more about, that's how you learn, right? You got to experiment with shit. And then you got to like say, well, that didn't work and this did work. So let's kind of adjust our path on the direction that did work. And I think that could go along with really any everyday lifting program that you get, well, pulls didn't work this round. So, hey, I'm going to do, I'm going to do like a low hang and see if that triggers the response.
Yeah. And I think the other part that is important that comes with maturity is like I was talking to someone yesterday about why I don't help coach the beginner class anymore. I'm like, I'm done with beginners. I'm sick of them.
Yeah.
No offense, but they're a waste of my time.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? He's like, what do you say? I'm like, yeah, they're a waste of my time. I'm like, I've only got a certain amount of time left here. I'm not going to pour it into like people who I'm not going to see ever again.
Right.
Like I would rather put whatever coaching time that I have left into you guys. And it's only a specific few people at the gym that I'm willing to really help.
Yep.
Because those are the ones that I'm seeing who want it. But I think that you kind of have to look at, okay, when you're getting into the sport, it's like you want to just push, but also you want them to get excited. And you don't know if they're going to be lifting still in 6 months. Like I've lifted with so many people that had so much potential and then they just walked away because it was like too easy for them. They didn't have to work hard to get good. They were just good. And it was kind of one of those things where they ended up going into finding a sport that they weren't good at, but they wanted to get good.
Yeah.
So when you say you can't have something, you have to earn it, then it's going to be more likely that someone's going to stick around and put the time in compared to you're just good. Hey, you just won everything that you can basically win. Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And I like that because, and I can relate with that to a certain point because when I started the sport, I was not good. And I'm not saying I'm like super good now, but hey, I've improved tremendously. And that's really the goal, is to improve and keep on pushing your numbers and keep on moving up. Like if I was going down in numbers, then I'd probably like take a hard look at what I'm doing and say, hey, maybe this program or maybe this team or maybe not even like maybe I'm just not a weightlifter. I don't know. But
are you just pointing everything at me right now because my numbers are going down?
No. I'm not even talking about you. And I just think that when we are when progression stops, that's the time. And I think I just posted something of you saying this where it's like you got to be flexible and you got to pivot. And that's exactly what you're doing by bringing this different program in. You pivoted. You said, you know what? I need something that's going to get me to my goal. I'm going to pivot, be flexible, and I'm going to do this program. Yeah. And I think that's, to me, that's a huge sign. I'm all about signs. A big sign that you can that you're not done yet.
Yeah. No, like when I was going, what I was also remembering that I didn't say about the whole like Phil Sabatini thing going every 6 months. It's like he's got those are like long-term goals. Those are like being able to be patient with things, knowing that you have to recover before you can build up. And it's a half of a year to do that. When I was saying that, I don't know if these new lifters are going to be around in 2 months, 3 weeks, however long, like you're trying to get them hooked on it before you can give them like a long-term program. Yeah. And then I think that there's also some people who they've got too long-term of a program and they think that, yeah, this is my 5-year program. Like, dude, you're 29 years old.
Yeah.
You don't have time to do a 5-year program to try to think that like whatever comes after LA, like that's not going to be your year if you're starting right now. Like maybe focus on like, let's try to win at a local meet first.
Yeah. And that's something that's cool about the sport is like, obviously, the Olympics is the pro side of the sport. We are not that. And we are the amateur side. So there are different angles in which you can participate and have goals. And I like that. Like, I think it was just last July, I had never gone 6 for 6 at a meet before. And that was like, okay, I need to do this. Like, and it's funny because some people you talk to about 6 for 6 are like, you didn't push it hard enough. And then I come through with like, well, I hit PRs. Oh, like, oh, so you had more in the tank then. And I'm like, no, listen, bro, like, no, the whole point was 6 for 6. And because I think that's a worthy goal worth accomplishing. And that's just an example of like what you're talking about, which is finding a goal and not making it the Olympics ever. Yeah. So, that should never be a thing.
Well, it's also like the 6 for 6 you sandbagged idea. Are you going 6 for 6 at every meet and you're not making PRs?
Yeah, that's not happening.
Like, that's a whole other thing. You hit PRs and you went 6 for 6. That's the unicorn day right there.
Right. And that's the thing. Exactly. Like, goal accomplished. Okay, what's my next goal? So like that was it was a good year. It was a good year. And so I think and it's just an example of like setting goals. I think that it's really important because you said something about like, how are the newbies going to stick around? And I go back and I start thinking about like people I've talked to and the younger people on my team and even some of the older ones. There's a line that connects everybody and why they continue to do it or where they fell, I guess, quote unquote, in love with this sport. And it's within the competition. And I think that's how you get newbies to like fall for it is like you get them 3 months of training or you have some goals and then you go just sign them up for a competition. It doesn't have to, they don't have to do anything crazy, but get them into a competition. And I think that's really where you get those people hooked.
No, I agree. Back to our first question about things that we would change.
Yes.
So I didn't think about this till just now. So if we would have started talking about this earlier, it wouldn't have been a good thing.
Okay.
I like analogies.
I like that.
I think there's a weird lighting going on right here. So
you're good.
Every once in a while, I'm like, whoa, what if I'm
what is that light?
So I think that one of the biggest things that could help masters weightlifting is to take out the possibility that you can make it to the Olympics. Like, scratch that dream for people. Yeah. You're a masters now. I'm not saying you can't make it, but this category of weightlifting is not the federation / the way to get there.
Yeah.
All right. Now we took that out of the whole thing. That's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. Jack plays baseball sometimes, right? Certain times of the year.
No, he plays basketball, football, but yeah.
Well, I played baseball.
Okay.
From like 7 to 11.
Okay.
Almost went pro, cut it out early, chose to walk away.
I love it.
But you'll probably understand some of this.
Yeah.
What's one of the big differences in equipment that is allowed in, I don't even know what kid baseball is, like child baseball versus like pro baseball?
I think the first one is bats, right? I mean, the type of bat you can use.
Yep.
Yeah.
The metal bats go way further.
Yes.
Right? You can hit a ball much further.
Yeah.
So it makes it harder to use a wood bat in the pro leagues.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And a little buckle in the elbow. Seem more like if you took away that little jiggle right here.
Yeah.
And you can't get to the Olympics now. Doesn't that seem like that would be a big thing to help the sport make it better? I'm not saying someone catches the weight and it bends and it hits their head and then they stand it up and they push it out. But I'm saying get rid of this. That's okay.
Yeah. Well, yes. Now, I don't know how you guys down in Southern California are, but I can tell you with some pretty good confidence that you do a local meet and you get away with a little bit of extra stuff. I've gotten away with some extra stuff like that, and that's where you start anyway. So yes, I agree with you on this.
I've gotten away with stuff in international meets.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's a good point, right?
It's not consistent, so if it can't be consistent, take it out.
Yeah.
And consistently take out the possibility for getting to the Olympics.
Yes. Yeah, I like that. I think that I firmly agree with that. No Olympics. Take out the press out rule. Okay. I'm going to say something that I think that if it were me, I would find a way to make Masters weightlifting 1. And what that means was I was trying to explain the difference between USA Masters and USAW Masters to my wife this morning. Mm-hmm. And she's looking at me like, what are you talking about? Why? And so finally I was like, listen, USAW takes people to Olympics. USA Masters wanted to focus on international masters competitions. USAW did not want to, they didn't have any. And so I just kind of summarized it. But it's ultra confusing. And honestly, like I'm over it. We have some mutual friends that strictly compete at the USA Masters meets. Mm-hmm. They don't do USAWs unless they have to qualify for something. But I have a coach that is a USAW blue coat and does all kinds of things at those. And so he was talking to me. He's like, I have no problem supporting USA Masters. We did it all last year, but I want you to do some USAW meets. I want to go do those. I enjoy being part of that. I want to, all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, well, sure. We'll do Masters Nationals this year. And, after that, we're probably just going to do a bunch of local competitions. So there's your USAW. But I think if I were to wake up tomorrow and I had that kind of power, I would find a way to make it 1. Because think of the competition that we would have at these competitions. When you start melding the people that are only on one side and you put them together, like all of a sudden we got a whole new ball game. And I don't know if there's many people out there that are strictly one side or the other, but I know there probably are. I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know. Everybody has their own reason, but I think that's me. Not only would we have good competition, we'd have bigger meets. We'd be able to put more funding into it. And as quoting you, Masters weightlifting is where it's at if you're a coach. Because you're going to get the people who can pay for things. You're going to get adults. You're going to get people who can go to, travel and have a good time and be able to still lift and all that stuff. So that to me is that would be my number one goal.
It's funny because this is how it was up until 2023.
I know. Stupid. I know it was. And it's like,
I don't really want to get into the whole political side of it all right now.
Either do I.
Because we're at 44 minutes and 45 seconds.
Yes, we are.
That's a 1 hour podcast right there.
Well, maybe we'll save that one for next time or whatever. But yes, I think we've answered the question. So, thank you, Murph, for that question. That sparked a lot of conversation, actually. So I appreciate it. Yeah, dude, I think that overall, we're pretty fortunate and blessed to be able to do this sport at our age. I love it. I was just talking to my older brother today, trying to explain it to him, and he was just like, wow, that's really cool. And to hear, from an outsider's perspective, and it's just like, man, it's a really cool sport that we're able to do.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it. I mean, it's fun. It's great.
Yeah.
There's good sides and bad sides of everything.
Yes. Oh, yes. Couldn't agree more. All right, buddy. This has been a great show. I think we're both tapped out on this one. So let's call it a day. And everybody, thank you for listening. Cornell, thank you for being here. And adios.
Bye.